Hello friends, the topic of today which we are discussing is measures of central tendency. Now you can ask a question that sir, why you are studying central tendency? The basic reason is that when you will do the research, you do the experiments, you will have to analyze the data, you will have to calculate the measures of dispersion, standard deviation, average deviation, quartile deviation. When you do the significance of difference between the means, then you will have to calculate the t-test, and when you will have calculated the t-test, then again the mean will come there. So, before entering in the advanced statistics, you must know about the measures of central tendency. Moreover, when you will do the graphical representation of the data, you will calculate the percentiles, then all these things will come. So, that is why we are today talking about the measures of central tendency. I will not be wrong if I say that after the frequency distribution, when you have analyzed the data, you are the data grouped the data, then statistics starts from measures of central tendency. That is why today the topic is measures of central tendency. What is measure of central tendency? The value of a measure of central tendency is twofold. First, it is an average which represents all the scores made by a group and thus gives a concise description of the performance of the group as a whole. Secondly, it enables us to compare two or more groups in terms of their typical performance. There are three measures of central tendency: number one mean, number two median, and number three is the mode. Now, first I will talk about mean. As I told you in the last para, that when you compare two groups, then the mean becomes, the central tendency becomes important. For example, we have group of the boys and the girls, and we want to compare their IQ. I have calculated the mean IQ of the boys is 110, mean IQ of the girls is 115. Now, when these two means are available, then I can very easily compare that the mean of the girls is 115 and the boys is 110. So, mean of the girls is higher. So, it also helps in the comparison of 2, 3 or more groups. Now, what is mean? The arithmetic mean, are more simply, the mean is the sum of the separate scores or measures divided by the number. This is very simple, you all know. The formula to calculate mean of the group data is like that. Now, I will tell you that how we can calculate the first of all the mean when the data is not in the group form. Simply, the formula is sigma x upon n. Now, in statistics, if you understand the meaning of each and every symbol, you will never fail. You will have no problem at all. So, try to understand the words which are used. The first symbol is sigma. Sigma means sum or the total. Where sigma is written, it means sum, you have to add up the total. X is the score which you have obtained. For example, I am administering a test to the 10 students and their marks are 10, 20, 30, 40. This 10, 20, 30 in statistical term will be called as the X. So, X is nothing, it is simply the obtained scores, and N is the number of cases, the number of students, the number of sample which you have taken. If you are doing a test on 5, the value of N will be 5. If you have studying on the 50 people, then N will be 50. So, N is the number of cases, X is the scores, and sigma means the sum total. Now, how we will calculate the mean first of all of the ungrouped data? Marks secured by 5 students are given below. What will be the mean? Now, the students are A, B, C, D, E. I have told you X is the marks obtained. Their marks are 20, 30, 25, 35, 40. Now, what is the formula of mean? Sigma x upon n. Sigma means total. This is very simple, you do right from your schooling, you have done it. Sigma means the total sum. Whose? Sigma x. And what is x? 20, 30, 25, 35, 40. Add it up. When you add, it comes, the value comes 150. Now, sigma x is 150. Total number of students on which you have done the research, the study is 5. So, divide sigma x upon n, 150 divided by 5, the value is 30. So, mean value is 30. So, average score of these 5 students will be 30. This is very simple when you do the mean of the ungrouped data. But now, we will talk about when the data is in the group form, that is frequency distribution, then how you will calculate the mean. The mean can be calculated by 2 methods, short method and long method. I will tell you both the methods, but it is your option. You can do any method which you like, but we will talk about both the methods, short method and the long method. First of all, I am going to discuss the short method. Now, if you have given a data, you see this data, the frequency is 195, 190, 94. If you start from the ascending, it will be very easy, 140, 144, 145, 149, 150, 154, 155, 159, 160, 164, 165, 169, 170, 174, 175, 179, 180, 184, 185, 189, 190, 194, 195 and 199, and the frequencies are given 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 6, 4, 4, 2. Now, what is the formula when you will calculate mean by the short method? I have written a formula, mean is equal to AM plus sigma fx dash upon n into I. Now, I will tell you the meaning of all the abbreviations, until I tell you the abbreviations, it will not be clear. What is AM? How we will determine? We will see later on. AM is the assumed mean, Then second is the sigma fx, deviation from the assumed mean. N is the number of cases and I is the size of the class interval. So, first assumed mean, then deviation from the assumed mean, then n is the number of cases and I is the size of the class interval. Now, first I will talk about assumed mean. Since it is a short method, we will have to assume that where the mean will lie, where the mean will come, we will suppose and then make the correction. Now, where the mean comes? The number which comes maximally, the value of mean will be around that number. For example, if I say 20, 25, 25, 25, 25, 30, 31, 25, 25. Now, 25 has appeared maximally, the value of mean will be near about the 25, not exact, near about the 25. So, in the data, we will identify that which class interval has the maximum frequency. If you look at the data, the class interval 170 to 174 has a maximum frequency, that is 10. So, we will assume that the mean will come in this data, and when I will do the calculation, you will find that your answer will come in between 170 and 174. So, we assume that the mean will be between the 170 and 174. Now, what is the value of assumed value? किसको assumed मानेंगे? Assumed value is the mid value of the class interval where you are assuming that mean will come. Now, after identifying this class interval, I have written small x dash, do not confuse. There is a symbol small x also in statistics which come in the standard deviation dispersion. When we use the simply small x, that means deviation of the score from actual mean, and when I put x dash, that means deviation of the score from the assumed mean. X dash deviation from the assumed mean and x is the deviation from the actual mean. Now, look at the heading x dash. Now, 170, 174 is deviating from itself, neither higher side nor lower side. So, value is 0. It is not deviating from it because this is just unit. Now, the deviation will be 0. 170, 170, 74, 579 is above it, plus 1, then plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. That means 175, 79 is deviating 1 unit from the inter-unit where we have assumed the mean. The second is 2 unit, third is 3 unit. Now come to the lower side, 165, 169 deviating minus 1, 160, 164 minus 2, 155, 59 minus 3, then minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Now here there is a point to understand. You may ask a question, rather a curiosity should be generated in you, that is why on the upper side plus, why on the lower side minus. Because unless and until you understand this point, that your answer may be wrong if I reverse the data. Now why? How? You see, we have assumed that our mean will come between 170 to 174. Now class interval 175, 179 is away from this how many units? 1. Now 175, 179 is greater than 170 and 174 is higher in value, that is why plus 1. The second 180, 184 is higher than 170, 2 unit, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, minus, plus 5. Now come to this side, 165, 169 is again deviating 5 units from this interval, but 165, 169 is less in value than the 170 and 174. So it will be minus 1. So second will be minus 2, minus 3, minus 5, minus 6. Suppose I reverse the data. If I start from 140, 144, 145, 149, 150, 154, then minus sign will come upward and plus sign will come downward. Don't make it a rule that we have to simply put plus plus upper and minus minus lower. No, you will have to see what is the value. The higher value will be plus and the lower value will be minus. Clear? So now we have determined the value of small x. Now in your formula, it is fx dash. This is your frequency. Okay. Now multiply this frequency by x dash, you will get the value of fx dash. Now f is 1, x is 5. So 1 plus 5, 5. 2 into plus 4, 8. 4 into plus 3, 12. When we don't write anything, it is plus. 5 into 2, 10. 8 into 1, 8. 10 divided by 0 is equal to 0. Now 6 minus 1 minus 6, 4 minus 2 minus 8, 4 minus 3 minus 12, 2 minus 4 minus 8, and then 3 minus 5 minus 15, and 1 minus 6, 6 minus 6. So you have the value in the plus higher side and lower side is the minus. Now what is the formula? The formula is fx dash. That means now we will have to add the values. Now try to understand here, there is one point. Some values are positive in the plus sign, some are in the minus. You add the plus, you add the minus, and then find the difference, that will be the value of the fx dash. If you add the value of the plus, it is coming 43, and if you add the value of the minus, it is coming 55. Out of 55, we will subtract now the value 43. So it will be minus 12. So value of fx dash now is minus 12. Clear? And I think it is very, very clear now. Now suppose if the value of the plus is more and the value of the minus is 5, then it will be then plus. If both are equal, then it will be 0. So whatever the value comes, that we will write it up. Fine. Now fx dash, now sigma fx dash we have find minus 12, n is number, you know 50 subjects, add up the frequency. Now what is am? Assumed mean. Assumed mean is the mid value of the class interval in which x dash is 0. Where the value of x dash is 0, the mid value of that class interval will become the assumed mean. So this class interval is 170 to 174. So 170, 171, 172, 173, 174. So, between number is 172. So, as value of assumed mean will be 172. If you get confused, you know it was odd. Even if the class interval is even, then you may get confused, but never have confusion. What do? You add both the value. 170 plus 174 divided by 2, you will get the mid value. If I have class interval 100, 109, add 100 plus 109 divided by 2, you will get the mid value. So, the value of assumed mean is 172, the value of sigma f x dash is minus 12, n is 50 and the I is 5. Now, put the value in the formula. 172 plus minus 12 by 50 into 5. Now, you multiply 12 by 5 minus 60 upon 50. Now, 172 plus minus 60 upon 50. Now, when you divide 60 by 50, the value will be the value will come up as a 1.2. Now, since it is minus, so plus minus minus, you subtract 1.2 from the 172, the answer will come 170.8. So, the value of the mean will be 170.8. So, this is the method to calculate the mean by the short method. Now, you see, I have told you earlier that the value of mean will become in between the class interval where we have taken the assumed mean. We took assumed mean from 170 to 174 and your mean is 170 point, clear. So, this was the short method. Here the possibility of error is reduced, but I will tell you also long method, how we will calculate the mean by the long method. Now, the same data I am using. Now, I will not repeat the data. You have this class interval, same data and the frequencies. When you calculate mean by long method, then the formula is sigma fx upon n. Sigma fx upon n. Now, you have the value of f, but you do not have the value of the x. Now, I told you what is x. X is the raw score, the data which you obtained. Now, the data which you obtained is 195 to 99, 190 to 94. So, now out of this interval, which is the value of x? So, x means here the mid value of each class interval. The mid value will represent the class interval. So, 140 to 144, mid value is 142, 145, 49, 47, 155, 59, 157, 160, 164, 162, like that, 167, 172, 177, 182, 181, 192 and 197. So, this is the value of the mid value. Now, what is formula? Sigma fx. Now, multiply the corresponding frequency with its mid value. The frequency is 1 and the mid value is 197. So, multiply 1 with 197, 197. Multiply 2 with 192, the value will 384. Similarly, 4 by 187, the value will be 748. Like this, you multiply each mid value with its frequency. Now, sigma sum kiska, whose fx, you add it up. Now, when you add it up, the value is coming 8540. Now, 8540 is the value of your sigma fx. What is n? 50. Now, divide this 50, you will get the mean 170.8. Now, the problem was the same. When I calculated mean by the short method, the answer is 170.8. When I calculated the same problem with long method, the answer is 170.8. So, it is now you to decide that whether you are to use the long method or the short method. The second important with which it will help you when percentile will come, median. What is median? Median is the point above which 50% of the cases lie. It is exact middle value. Now, mid value is what is mid value? It is the score below and above which 50% of the cases the number will come. Exact 50, mean is not exact, that is the average. No, it is the exact point where we can say that this is the score below which 50% students are coming, that value will be called as the median. Now, we can again calculate median the ungrouped data as well as the group data. Now, first of all, calculation of the median of ungrouped data. Arrange the number in order of size, that is, arrange numbers in the increasing order. Median is the midpoint in the series. Number 2, I will explain you with the data also. In ungrouped data, two situations may arise when n is odd and the or even. Now, you see, my data is 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Clear? Now, first of all, what I did, I arranged this data in the ascending order, बढ़ते हुए क्रम में increasing order 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, 7, 7, 8 this side, 10, 11, 12 this side, the value is the 9, the value of the median will be 9. Now, suppose the number is even, you know, even which can be divided by 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, if I say 7, 8, 9, then 10, 11, 12 is the what is in between, clear? So, arrange the data, I have arranged 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, 7, 8, 9 and 10, it means my median will be lying somewhere between 9 and 10, between 9 and 10. So, if you move from 9 to 10, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4 and 9.5. Once it comes 9.6, it will be converted into 10. So, median here will be, the value will be 9.5. Now, I have given you formula, it is very easy. Even if you are confused, you can use the formula. One can also use formula to find the value. Median is n plus 1 by 2. N plus 1 by 2. Your n was 7 in the first case, total was 7. If n is 7, then median is 7 plus 1 divided by 2, 8 by 2, 4. That means the fourth number which is appearing will be your median. If n is 6, even, then it will be 6 plus 1 by 2, 7 upon 2, 3.5. That means the third, fifth value, 1, 2, 3.5, whatever the number is coming at 0.5, the value will be the median. So, in the ungrouped data, median is very easy to calculate, but now we will calculate median when the data is in the group form. I tell you, if you can follow this median, try to understand, then percentile will become very, very easy. It will be more or less the same thing, varying somewhere little bit, otherwise it will be the same. Now, median, you know, I have written the data, I will not repeat the data, same data I am using it. The formula of median is L plus n by 2 minus f upon fm into I. Now, what is L? Lower limit of the class interval in which median is coming, in which n by 2 is coming. Now, what is the value of L? Lower limit of the class interval where your n by 2 is lying are the coming. Then capital F, n by 2 is very clear, capital F. It is sum of the frequencies of all those class intervals which are less in value than the class interval in which your n by 2 is lying. And what is Fm? Fm is the value of the frequency, in which n by 2 is lying, and I is the size of the class interval. So, what first we will do? After F, it is written capital F. What is capital F? Capital F means cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency, we will add up the frequencies. We will start from the lower class interval 1, then frequencies 3, 1 plus 3, 4, then frequencies 2, 4 plus 2, 6, then 4, 6 plus 4, 10, then 4, clear, 14, 14 plus 6, 20, then 38, 45, 47, 40 and 50. Your n is 50, the last value will be the 50. So, first determine the first you know calculate or compute cumulative frequencies, add the frequencies from the lower side of the class intervals. Now, L, n by 2, I told you that median is the point below which 50% will be lying. So, what is n by 2? 50. If I have 50 students n by 2, 50 upon 2 will be 25. If I have 100, 100 by 2 it will be 50. So, first of all n by 2, so n is 50. So, value of n by 2 will be 25. Now, you see in the cumulative frequency which is the class interval where n by 2 is lying. So, n by 2 is lying in the 170 to 174, clear. It is 20 is 165, 69 and 30 is your 170 to 174. So, this is the class interval where n by 2 is coming. So, lower limit. Now, for lower limit you subtract 0.5. Now, from 170 you subtract 0.5, it will be 169.5. So, L will be 169.5, F is 20, F sum of the frequency of all those class intervals which are less in value than n by 2. Now, less in value are these class interval and frequency of these class interval 1, 4, 6, 10 is 20. So, the value of F will be 20 Fm. Frequency of the class interval in which n by 2 is lying and that is 10. So, Fm is 10, I is the size of class interval, you apply this value 169 plus 5.5 plus 25 minus 20 upon 10 into 5, calculate it, the answer is 172. So, that means 172 is the value where below which 50% cases are lying. Last is your mode. Mode is very simple. Mode means the number which is appearing maximum number of times, For example, the data is 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14. So, in this data 13 has appeared 3 times, 11 has appeared only 2 times, 14 2 times, 10 1 time. So, maximum number which is coming is 13. So, mode will be 13. But if the data is in the group form, then what will you do? When the data is in the group form, then mode will be calculated by the formula mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. You calculate the value of median, you calculate the value of mean. Now, in the earlier example, the value of median was 172 and the mean was 170.8. Now, mode 3 median. So, 3 into 172 minus 2 mean 2 into 170.8. It comes 516 minus 341.6. Subtract it, the value will become 174.4. So, value of the mode will be 174.4. So, in this way, we can determine the value of the mode in the group data, calculate median and mode. So, the measure of central tendency we have discussed today, mean, median, mode, clear. Mean I have explained you in on group data, by short method, by long method. Whatever method you adopt, it is up to your choice, your sweet will. Then we have calculated the median of the ungrouped data and the group data, and then we have gone to the mode of the group and ungrouped data. So, if you understand this topic, it will facilitate you in understanding the percentile and the further statistics.